Hi everyone, welcome to What If Wednesday. What If Wednesday is a short video where I just ask you a what if question in order to get you into growth mindset instead of fixed mindset, where your mind is open to more possibilities, more options, more creativity. So today's question is, what if your focus is actually hurting your creativity? So this is a little bit of a tricky one. But in our consumer culture, our branding culture, we've been told that, we need to find a focus, hurry up, find a focus, and create strategy around that. And this, kind of goes with anything that we're creating. Our brain really wants to create a sort of narrow focus in order to keep us safe, right? And this ends up backfiring on us creatively because this isn't really how creativity works. I've been studying creativity for a long time, and we might replace the word focus because actually creativity, flow, intuition does love a focus and an intention. But we might replace the word focus with more of an expectation in this reference of, is your expectation hurting your creativity? So what I mean by this, and let's talk about the creative process. So in the creative process, how it actually works is it's kind of like a funnel, right? It starts off big and then gets narrow. So I'm going to give you some examples, but okay, so let me give you an example. I am working on sort of landscaping our front yard because we just bought a house, landscaping it. I know nothing about it, right? So it starts off with getting inspiration, right? What do I love? What am I excited about? And that's sort of the beginning of that big funnel. And then I narrow it down, I just went and bought some plants, learning about the plants, learning how to do it, right? If I was to say, oh, I want this to look like I would get a picture and I would say I want this to look exactly like this picture that I found in a magazine or on Pinterest or whatever, that gets us into trouble, right? Because we are basically choking off our own creativity. So I could do that, but that really is a formula, right? So I want to make the distinction between a formula, which is something that is so useful if we want to get into flow, do things, focus on other creative things like, a math formula can be super helpful in figuring out even my lawn situation, right? It makes things really easy. But when it comes to creativity and creating something new, we want to start off in what John Cleese calls open mode. And so we have open mode versus closed mode. And we can also call it growth or fixed mindset, right? So when I'm in growth mindset and I'm starting off in that funnel, I want to be able to capture all of these ideas and then just slowly weed them out and kind of play with the ideas. So I'm kind of playing with where the placement is, what could I do, instead of making it look exactly like this one picture. So we want to really spend, in the creative process, we want to spend, probably at least 75% in this growth mode or this open mode of exploring, playing, learning, right? I'm learning, building up new skills. So a couple other kind of examples of this. When teachers were told that they have to really focus on test scores with students. That their mind is so focused, right? So I'm doing this because we get in this narrow, fixed mindset. So their teachers' minds are so focused on the end goal, right? That they're not being in the present moment. They're not listening to what their students need. They're not being present and tapping into the creativity of what could be actually unique ways to teach these students and incorporate their ideas and get them to the goal, right? So if I'm creating a painting and I get this, and a lot of art, early artists that just start creating have this situation where they have this in their mind of what they want to do, or they have a picture in their mind of what this painting should look like. And so they try to like, they're focused on that end product, and everything that they're creating is to move them towards that end goal without tapping into their own creativity. This really causes a lot of stress, right? So if I'm just focused on the end goal by painting, I'm not in flow. I'm not in the present moment, right? Think about if you have a family and you're making dinner, and you have this idea for dinner, you're so focused on the end goal of making dinner, a perfect dinner. And I think I've used this example before, but you're kind of ignoring what your kids are saying, or how you could bring your kids into the play or the experimentation, or even making something new. You're not being in the moment. So really, so having a focus is great, and having an intention is great. We really need that in order to move forward, or to listen to our intuition. But ask yourself if the focus is too narrow, or also if I need to sort of build up my skills, right? So like in the painting example, and this is where a lot of people get stuck, is my expectation is keeping me from tapping into the way I like to create. So what the funnel does in that kind of open mode state, in this state, you're playing, you're learning those skills. So if I'm starting off painting, I'm playing with, what do I like? What do I enjoy? What really gets me excited? What am I obsessed with? What kind of materials do I like? Playing with the materials, slowly building up the skills in order to learn what I like, learn actually what is possible, right? So instead of focusing on that super narrow goal, I'm slowly playing, and that's what makes creating anything feel fun and easy, right? So the very first step is that exploration and that play. And then, you're slowly and learning skills. So you're slowly narrowing it down so that you can say, aha, okay, this is really working for me. This is not, I can let that go. Kind of mixing things together. What are my unique strengths, right? What do I really like? What do I really enjoy? And weaving those together. And then you can go and critique and get super narrow then you get into mastery, right? You get into mastery where you can get into flow. You can have sort of a more focused goal, right? Like, I really want it to look like this. So with my lawn, with my front yard, right now I'm just learning and playing and exploring. I sort of made a sketch, right? But I can slowly begin to see how plants work, get advice, learn those skills. And then I can create sort of that more narrow focus. But I don't know, think about if there's something in your life that you are super focused on, and does it, maybe you can kind of let that go and be into more of a growth mindset, more of an open mode right now. So what happens is we kind of, when we're in this focused mode, is things, we can't see all of the cool things that can come in, and that we can learn and that we can find that really make us unique. So is there something in your life that you're hyper focused on? Maybe it's an expectation. I want it to look like this. See if you can let that go. Is that focus, is that expectation kind of keeping you from being more creative, more of your authentic self? I always say that your authentic self, your authentic expression is what really is going to make you stand out as a creator, as an artist, in creating whatever you want in your life. That authentic part of yourself. And we don't get to that by having that super narrow focus of the formula that we want to create, right? So again, so your mind has these two modes. And then this goes along with the open and closed growth fixed mindset. Is it has executive mode, where it's in that sort of focused, really hyper focused, I want to do this by this plan, by this formula to keep me safe. And default mode, which is when you're using more of your brain, and I talk about this all the time, but connecting to those possibilities, connecting to more of yourself, connecting to your subconscious, right? When we're in this mode, we disconnect from our subconscious, our intuition, our inner knowing, our inner self, our authentic self. So yeah, just ask yourself, is there something right now in your life that maybe you are too hyper focused on? It could be dinner. It could be creating a perfect life for your kids. It could be, I don't know, planning something. See if there's a way you can let go and get into flow. That's when we start getting into flow, and we can just listen to our intuition to get feedback in every moment, and every day feels like easier and more in flow. So I hope this has helped you. Enjoy and subscribe if you're on YouTube, and like this. I would love that. And I will see you next Wednesday, hopefully.